You ever wonder what makes a name pop out on a roster? Not just sit there quietly, tucked between flashier names, but actually jump off the page? Brett Gabbert. Yeah, that's the one. Doesn't exactly scream headline at first glance, right? But dig a little. No, scratch that. Just watch. Watch how things unfold when a guy who wasn't even supposed to be here steps into a room full of NFL quarterbacks and just stays. Doesn't blink. Doesn't flinch. Doesn't ask for permission either. This isn't one of those fluffy feel-good arcs where the underdog magically becomes the hero and everything lines up perfectly. Nah, this is dirt-under-the-nails football. A kid who had to scratch and claw, who spent 6 years at Miami, building a resume most folks didn't even glance at when draft time came around. 10,000 plus passing yards. First team All-MAC. A few cracked ribs and a shoulder pop along the way. But the dude kept throwing. And not just tossing balls around for fun. Threading needles, moving chains, dragging his team out of holes they had no business escaping from. And then came Miami. South Beach. But this wasn't some red carpet welcome. Brett didn't stroll into a spotlight. He showed up to a tryout, rookie minicamp. Not even a contract in hand. Just him, a helmet, and a shot. But that's all he's ever needed. They saw something. And suddenly, it's not just a camp body we're talking about anymore. Brett Gabbert is on the roster. Which, let's be real, is a bit wild when you think about the room he just entered. Tua. We know Tua. The man throws dimes when he's upright, reads defenses like he's reading a bedtime story. But his availability? Always a question mark. Zach Wilson, former number 2 pick, now trying to rediscover something. Anything. That looks like confidence. And Quinn Ewers? Hype machine from Texas. But college hype doesn't buy you a snap in the NFL. So what does Gabbert bring to the table? Maybe not the strongest arm. Not the fastest feet. But the head. The heart. That's where he wins. This guy isn't chasing dreams. He's chasing reality. He's seen it up close too. His brother Blaine? That guy's been through it all. Drafted early. Bounced around. Held a clipboard behind Brady and Mahomes, and walked away with a couple rings. And still, never once did he lose the edge. That's what Brett grew up around. Not just talent, but toughness. Smarts. Situational awareness that you don't learn in a playbook. You think those lessons get passed down in Sunday dinners? You bet. Blaine didn't just give him a phone call now and then. He gave him the whole manual. The fine print. The brutal truths. And maybe that's why Brett walks like a guy who knows what this league demands. Not just the glamour of game day, but the grind of every rep, every film session, every time you're the first in, last out, and no one notices. Let's talk about why the Dolphins made this move, though. It wasn't just a sentimental thing. This front office doesn't have time for nostalgia. They saw gaps. Behind Tua, everything's shaky. Wilson could pan out, could fizzle. Ewers needs seasoning. Brett, he's insurance. But not the kind you forget about in a drawer. The kind you might have to cash in. And when that moment comes, if it comes, you want someone who's not looking around for validation. And don't get it twisted, this isn't about Blaine. This is Brett's fight now. Different number, different city, different energy. But the fire? Same. Maybe even hotter. Because when you go undrafted, everything you get is earned. No handouts. No guarantees. Every snap you take is a vote of confidence. Every pass you complete is a reason to stay. There's this thing about undrafted guys. They play like they've got something to prove. Because they do. Coaches love that edge. Players respect it. And fans. They feel it. You can't fake hunger. And Gabbert's starving. Now, you might ask, what's the ceiling here? Is he the next starter? The next Brock Purdy? Or just a camp arm who'll fade into the preseason mist? Hard to say. But that's not even the point. The point is, he's here. He cracked the code. Made it through the door. And now he's in the conversation. And what happens next? That's the part that makes this whole thing electric. Could he push Ewers down the depth chart? Could he be the guy they trust if Tua takes a hit and Wilson goes cold? It's possible. Maybe even probable if he keeps stacking good days. Don't underestimate what consistency can do in a league built on chaos. Miami's roster is in a weird place right now. Some parts solid, some parts still finding their shape. But that quarterback room? It's got juice now. Real competition. And every time Gabbert throws one into a tight window or nails a read in practice, he's not just surviving. He's applying pressure.